Questions are a form of power, but every kind of power comes with a cost. Use it to silence people, and you become a manipulator. Use it to awaken them, and you become a philosopher. Socrates was the man who never lost a debate, not because he was always right, but because winning was never his goal. While others exhausted themselves defending their opinions, he simply asked questions, each one sharp as a blade, slicing through arguments until they collapsed under their own weight. He never raised his voice. He never tried to appear intelligent. He used silence and reason, weapons few people have the patience or discipline to master. Today, I'll give you 5 questions based on the Socratic Method. If you learn this art, you won't just win debates. You'll gain control over conversations, situations, and even people. But remember, this power is not for those hungry for attention. It is for those seeking mastery, both over others and over themselves. Before we get into the 5 questions, we need to understand why asking always defeats arguing, and why these 5 questions are so incredibly effective. When someone makes an argument, they expose themselves. They build a tower made of words, but every tower can fall if just one brick at the base is removed. The questioner doesn't build towers, they dig. They dig down to the foundation of belief, and when that ground gives way, the entire structure collapses. A question is invisible, yet it carries the force of truth. You cannot lose when you ask. A statement can be false. A sincere question cannot be false. That's the psychological advantage. Arguments trigger defensiveness, but questions make people think. Socrates understood this well. He knew the ego always wants to be right. So instead of attacking it, he let people map out their own beliefs. And when they reached the edge of that map, they discovered the ground beneath them was nothing but sand. It was never about winning. It was about freeing people from illusion. Part 1. How do you know that's true? It sounds simple, almost harmless, but this question is the seed of collapse. Everyone holds beliefs, yet almost no one truly understands why they believe what they do. Most beliefs are inherited, copied, or absorbed unconsciously from the crowd. I heard it somewhere. Everybody knows that. It's just obvious. These answers reveal that the person has never examined the roots of their own conviction, because 99% of people don't live by thinking. They live by repetition. They don't believe what is true. They believe what they've heard the most. They believe social media is ruining the world. They believe success requires a college degree. They believe happiness is measured by money. But the moment you ask, how do you know that's true? They have nothing to say. And when someone can't explain the source of their belief, they begin to lose belief in themselves. They realize the truth they spoke was just emotion disguised as logic. Socrates knew that every untested belief is dangerous, because whatever you never examine ends up controlling you. One afternoon in Athens, a confident young man approached him and said, "Your philosophy is useless. Reality is the only truth." Socrates simply smiled and replied with one question, "How do you know that's true?" The young man answered, "Because everyone says so." Socrates leaned closer. Everyone, or you? No one remembers what the young man said after that, only that he walked away in silence. For the first time, he realized he had never actually thought for himself. So how do you use this question in real life? When someone says, "This task can't be done," don't argue. Just ask, "Are you sure?" Based on whose experience? When someone tells you you're going to fail, simply respond, "What makes you so certain?" Then stop talking. Let silence work for you. Silence cuts deeper than words because it forces people to confront the sound of their own thoughts. And here's the advanced version. What would have to be true for that to be false? That single question flips logic upside down and exposes the blind spot in their thinking. Sometimes it's powerful enough to make the most confident people sit still like statues. Part 2. What are you assuming? Every argument is an iceberg. What you hear is only the tip. What keeps it afloat are unseen assumptions beneath the surface. Take this example. People should go to college because college leads to good jobs. Sounds reasonable, right? But underneath, you're assuming everyone wants the same type of job. You're assuming that the value of life is measured in money. You're assuming college always leads to success. Once you peel back those hidden layers, the original argument begins to shake, and the person who said it starts to think. This question doesn't destroy by attack. It destroys through awareness. It exposes the foundation no one ever questions. Seneca once said, "We suffer more in imagination than in reality." Why? Because most people don't live by truth. They live inside untested assumptions. They say, "I need other people's approval," yet they never stop to ask, "What makes me believe I need that?" A young soldier once asked Marcus Aurelius, "My emperor, how can I avoid being offended?" And the emperor replied, "By understanding that words cannot offend you unless you assume they can." The question, "What are you assuming?" is a mirror, one that reflects the illusions we've built our lives upon. So how do you use it? When someone says, "I'm not good enough," ask, "Compared to who?" In that moment, you've shattered the wall of comparison, one of the deepest roots of human suffering. When they say, "Everyone should go to college," ask, "Are you assuming everyone wants the same kind of life?" That's how you strike at the foundation, the hidden layer of belief where truth is buried. Part 3. What evidence would change your mind? This is the question that separates the thinker from the believer. A rational mind says, "If there's better evidence, I'm willing to change." But a blind believer says, "Nothing could ever change my mind." And the moment they say that, you don't need to continue, because they've already admitted that reason no longer lives there. This is the question most people fear, because it forces them to face something uncomfortable. If no evidence could ever change their view, then they're not thinking anymore. They're worshipping their own belief. Try it in real conversation. Someone says, "Crypto is a scam." You respond, "What kind of evidence would make you change your mind?" If they answer, "Nothing, I'll never change," you've already won, because they've confessed that they are not guided by logic, but by pride. This single question separates the learner from the believer. The learner adjusts when truth appears. The believer defends the ego, even when truth is standing right in front of them. Epictetus once said, "No man can learn what he thinks he already knows." That is what this third question truly is, a test of humility. If you can't name the kind of evidence that would prove you wrong, then you've become a prisoner of your own certainty. Here's how to use it in everyday life. When someone tries to force their beliefs on you, simply ask, "If new facts appeared, would you be open to re-examining your view?" If they say no, you've already seen the limits of their mind. If they say yes, you've just opened the door to wisdom. Part 4. What would someone who disagrees with you say? This question forces people to step outside themselves, and for most, that is the hardest thing in the world to do. The weak want to win. The smart want to understand. But the wise seek to understand even the people who oppose them. This question is a test of true comprehension. If you cannot explain your opponent's view accurately, then you don't actually understand the issue. Someone says, capitalism is the best system. You ask, what would someone who disagrees with you say? If their answer is, they're just jealous because they're poor, they've already revealed that they've never truly listened. In America, people grow up surrounded by debates, but most of it is noise, not dialogue. This question teaches what Marcus Aurelius once told his son: to understand another man's argument better than he does himself, that is the height of wisdom. Picture this scene: a discussion at an old military academy about discipline. A young officer stands up and says, "The army is fair. Whoever breaks the rules is punished." Then an older instructor leans forward and asks, "And what if the rule itself was written by an unjust man?" The room falls silent. That is the power of a perspective shift. It opens a door they never realized existed. How do you use this in real life? In a political argument, don't rush to counter. Ask, if you were born in another country, would you still think the same? In a personal conflict, ask, if you were me, how would you feel? One question can melt the ice of an entire conversation because it reaches deeper than logic. It touches empathy. Part 5. What would happen if everyone thought like you? This is the final strike. The question that drags an argument down from theory and slams it into reality. Someone says, people should be free to do whatever they want, as long as they don't hurt anyone. Sounds noble, right? But ask, if everyone lived by that rule, who decides what hurt means? What about emotional harm, long-term consequences? Suddenly, the beautiful idea begins to crumble, because it cannot survive when pushed to the edge of its own logic. Socrates had a name for this: reductio ad absurdum, driving a belief to its extreme to see if it still holds. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "What is right cannot be right only for you. It must be right for all." A principle only has value if it can be universal. If it collapses the moment everyone applies it, then it isn't truth. It's just selfishness wearing a mask. When someone says, "Relax, I only lied a little," ask, if everyone lied a little, would trust still exist? When they say, "I did it because everyone does it," ask, if everyone thought that way, who would be the first to stop? This question is a mirror. It reflects the consequences they refuse to face. And in that reflection, the illusion of moral comfort finally shatters. Part 6. Advanced Tactics 1. The Strategic Silence. After you ask a question, say nothing. Let silence do the work. Silence forces the other person to confront their own thoughts. Most people can't handle it, so they rush to fill the void, and in doing so, they reveal what they never meant to say. 2. The clarification loop. When their answer is vague, ask, "Can you explain that a bit more?" Then ask again and again. Keep looping until they realize they don't actually understand themselves. 3. The example trap. Ask for something concrete. Can you give me a real example of that? Watch how bold claims begin to collapse the moment they are forced to meet reality. 4. The consistency check. You said A earlier, and now you're saying B. How do those fit together? No one can outrun logic forever. Eventually, their own contradictions will corner them. Part 7. The art of defense, when someone uses it on you. If someone begins using the Socratic method on you, don't react emotionally. Understand, they're not attacking you. They're testing the truth inside you. Stay calm and reply, "That's a good question, but what's your view on it?" Pull them out from behind their wall of questions and restore balance to the conversation. And remember, not every moment needs logic. The Socratic method should not be used when someone is in deep pain or anger. Reason doesn't heal emotion. You're speaking to a boss or professor. Curiosity may be misread as challenge. A fast decision is needed. Over-analysis can kill action. In close relationships, too many questions feel like judgment, not care. A true Stoic philosopher doesn't just know how to speak wisely. They know when to speak wisely. Part 8. Applying it to modern life. 1. In the workplace. Instead of commanding, "Do it this way," ask, "What risks do you see if we did the opposite?" You won't just get an answer, you'll earn trust. People commit more deeply to ideas they helped create. 2. In sales, don't push, don't pressure, lead with curiosity. Ask, if everything stays the same, what will your situation look like 6 months from now? The right question doesn't persuade, it reveals clarity, and clarity sells better than persuasion ever could. 3. In parenting and education, instead of shouting, ask, "What do you think will happen if you do that again?" That moment of reflection is where maturity begins. That's not control, that's awakening. 4. In love. When arguments rise, don't ask to win, ask to connect. What do you need most to feel heard right now? Sometimes it isn't logic that saves a relationship, it's empathy disguised as a question. A single honest question can do what 1,000 clever words never could. Conclusion: the ethics and responsibility of this power. Socrates was sentenced to death not because he lied, but because he asked too many questions that were true. And that is the lesson. Questions are power, and every power has a price. Use them to silence others, and you become a manipulator. Use them to awaken others, and you become a philosopher. Ask not to win, ask to awaken. There are 3 virtues you must protect. Intellectual humility, you don't have all the answers. Sincere curiosity, ask to understand, not to conquer. Collaborative thinking, seek dialogue, not dominance. And there are 4 vices you must guard against. 1. Intellectual arrogance, believing you stand above others. 2. Humiliation disguised as wisdom, using questions to wound instead of heal. 3. Endless skepticism, tearing everything down and building nothing back up. 4. The judge's mindset, believing you alone hold the truth. One day, when you face someone loud, stubborn, or angry, remember, you don't need to shout to be right. You only need to ask, softly, to make them think. Because true power isn't found in making others listen to you, but in making them hear themselves. Socrates once asked humanity a single question: are you sure you truly understand yourself? And perhaps it's the one question the world still hasn't answered. The 5 Socratic questions are not weapons for debate. They are exercises in wisdom for a Stoic mind that seeks mastery, not victory. Don't react, observe. Don't impose, guide. Don't fight, discover. Use these questions to challenge others, but first, use them to challenge yourself. Because the one who learns to ask the right questions no longer fears any answer. And if you've reached this point, you're already part of a rare group, those who seek truth, not applause. So if this message spoke to you, leave a comment below with just 3 words. I choose awareness. Let that be your commitment to live, to question, and to grow with the calm strength of a Stoic mind. And if this journey inspires you, subscribe, share, and let's keep building a world where wisdom speaks louder than noise.